Hey everyone, welcome back to Indicted TV. I'm your host Negra. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. Before we start, quick shout out to my sponsor, Royalty Honey. And if you don't want to be on my show and you want to stay home, make sure you hire attorney Rosenberg. On today's episode, we have Tylo. Welcome to Indicted TV.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to have you. I'm excited to hear your story.
I'm excited to be here. It's like I don't even know where to start. So
well,
I'm
don't
just
worry. I got
like,
you. I'm asking questions.
Exactly,
I got
exactly.
you. So tell me, where are you from? I don't mean like gang or anything. You know,
Okay.
where did you grow up? How was the inside of your house? Brothers, sisters, mom, things like that.
Well, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles off really 3rd Avenue and 52nd. My household was me, my mom, and my little brother.
Okay.
My mom was always a single mother, but I did know my father. My father was active in our life until he became a drug addict. And, eventually he had to leave the home.
Of course.
It wasn't a safe environment for us. But eventually, he got his stuff back together. But my mom was more of an authorian, how I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You got your ass beat.
For sure. You Mando.
They
yeah,
from
Mando.
They from the South. So, my grandmother and we very close knit, and it's not a lot of family members out here in Los Angeles because we migrated from Chicago and Mississippi.
Ah.
But see, I was born here.
Okay.
Me and my brothers and my cousins, we all was born here.
Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So tell me, at what age did you see yourself kind of already like getting into trouble? Like, did you, was this elementary, junior high?
Unfortunately, it was elementary.
Oh, super young.
But I was more of a class clown than being like bad as in terrorizing or doing stuff to others. I was just more of a class clown. I was more funny. I was hard headed. I had the minor, but
not
I was
too crazy.
Not too crazy.
Just funny,
Yeah, because if you call my mom, I'm gonna get that ass whipped. So,
yeah, you definitely didn't want that.
I had a different type of understanding back then.
For sure. So did you finish high school?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I graduated from high school, and I also have 30 units of community college, which I obtained in prison. I'm being pretty sure we'll get to that.
Yeah, for sure, because you're obviously on Indicted TV, right?
Hey, it is.
All right. So, did you ever go to juvenile hall?
Yes, I went to juvenile hall, and what's so funny is that I went to juvenile hall in 1992 when the riots kicked off. And so I wasn't able to loot and run around with all my buddies.
Hey, maybe that saved you.
That's what my mom said. My mom was like, I'm so happy that you was locked up when the riots was going on. I was like, I'm seeing everybody get free everything. What you talking about?
I went to run with the TV too.
I was juvenile hall in Los Padrinos, sitting with everybody else, asking to get a phone call. Like,
so you were at Los Padrinos. And tell me, what was the reason why you went to juvenile hall?
I had a fight in junior high school. And unfortunately, they pressed charges on me.
Oh, just for a little fight.
It was a summer school fight. I broke someone's nose. And so the parents decided to sue the school. But to sue the school, you had to, I guess, make a police report. And with the police report, I went home not knowing. And I come back to school, and then I got arrested for assault and battery.
Oh, how did that make you feel? Like, because obviously you went home and you thought everything was like, good. You obviously didn't get in trouble by your mom, right? When you went back to school, like, how did that arrest go? Did it get you out of class? Like, how did it make you feel?
It made me feel, I was scared. It made me feel a little important.
For sure.
Because, the police coming to get you off campus. It's like, oh, man, what'd he do? What'd he do? But I didn't know what was going on until I got to the police station. And then when they told me it was going, I'm like, hold up, this is a fist fight. It's like.
Yeah. So how long were you in juvenile hall for?
I was only in juvenile hall for like about 30 days.
So that's kind of a lot when you're, it's your first time.
Right. I had never been locked away, so I can't lie. As soon as I got in the tank by myself, I cried. I was like, oh, God.
No, I get it. I get it.
Man, so I didn't have to put on the tough face. You know what I'm saying? Wipe all your snot off and then get out here and talk about where you from.
So you were you already from a gang or no?
I was affiliated. Yes, I was from the hood.
Okay.
But I couldn't say that I was just this big active member because
Because you were a
in
bit
19
young.
I was young, and at the end of the years, the streets was very dangerous. So
No.
I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I was one of the most dangerous cats in the streets, and that's what it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was already initiated into the gang, the
When I-
Rolling 60s. I'm
Yeah.
from Rolling 60s, and so once I got to juvenile hall, I had already had a couple of friends. Once I came through, so I hadn't been in any type of trouble like that before, and that's when I knew it got real.
Did you get in any fights while you were there?
Oh yes, I did.
Tell me about your first fight.
My first fight was on the basketball court, and what would happen is that I had went to Crenshaw, so we play basketball a little bit, and so they have not COs, but they have counselors when you're in juvenile, and so what it was is the counselor would come handpick us that went to Crenshaw that played basketball, and so we would play against other units, so we get like little quote unquote special privileges and stuff like that. So when we would beat the other dudes, it would get kind of
Like you guys are the man.
violent, the man, or somebody didn't push you down too hard, and if somebody hop up in your face, you didn't have no choice but
For
to
sure.
take flight. So it was just those type of situations in juvenile hall where you couldn't be a victim. So
No. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. You got to
Hey.
protect yourself, right?
easy call.
What about your mom? Did she go visit you?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
She was
Yes,
pisties,
did.
huh?
It was more or less. It's her fault.
Oh, so now you want to blame your mom?
No. But what it was is like at that time they was trying their hardest to keep me out of jail. And my mom, when I went back to court, my mom told them, no,
Keep his ass.
you have to do something with him because he's out here running circles around y'all. Because I was on house arrest, and this is when they had house arrest had a big damn near computer on your leg. But before they came, I had these implants in my shoes for my bad arches. So I put like 8 pair of socks on, right? So my CO, my probation officer, I told him that they had to put the ankle monitor around all my socks. So they put it around all my socks. And when they left, I just took off all my socks, put me some oil on it, slipped off my ankle monitor, put it on my bed. I was out the door. My mom like, no, he's making the fool of you guys. No, y'all have to keep him. And I'm like, wait a minute, what you talking about? Keep me.
Okay, so they let you go after the 30 days on house arrest. Is that what happened? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's how I end up going for the 30 days. They end up only giving me probation for the fight.
Ah, okay.
So I would have never touched juvenile hall.
If it wasn't for the...
For moms.
Shout out to moms.
Love you, moms. Hey, love you, baby. My sweetheart.
I know that's right? Moms are everything.
Right.
So you got out. So what happened with the house arrest? You took it off. Did you ever get in trouble for that?
No, I didn't get in trouble because this was before I went to juvenile hall. This is why I was going through the case.
Okay.
And so, you have to go back to court and then, they give a progress report. So the judge was like, how's he doing, whatever. My mom stood up and was like, no, y'all finna keep him for a while. And so then when I got out, the case, I was already on probation. So then I was just going back to high school, just the regular.
Just to not even care.
The aftermath of the riots, and everybody got brand new everything, and I'm like,
hey, when you got out, how did you feel? Did you feel like because for me, I feel like when you get out of juvenile hall, you kind of always think you're a little more, all right, I already did this. I'm cool. I'm like a little cooler. Did you feel that way?
No, because I kind of like was always in the in crowd in school.
Got it.
So I never felt pressure to be something that I wasn't.
Got it.
So even with gang banging or whatever I was into, I didn't feel the pressures of just trying to overly do something. I mean, at times you feel a little pressure like, yeah, you got to show up for the homies or, stuff like that. That's just natural. But to be overly, no, I always had a sense of who I was and who I am. And that's just by the way I was raised.
Got it. All right. So you're done with your juvenile hall career. How many times did you go back, or did you go to camp? Or
No. I never went to camp. I ended up turning 18. Graduate. I did go on to graduate from high school.
Nice.
I'd gotten in trouble for a few little, how can I say, back then, if you got caught with a gun, I got a couple of gun charges and, just minor things. I had a GTA and, radios and, just little things just to make ends meet that we got into. I wasn't into like selling drugs big like that at that time. So, it was just certain things I knew I didn't want to dabble into because the streets was real dangerous.
No,
so
for
you have to know how to navigate in order to be here. Because a lot of my friends, a lot of people that was good people are not here today because of just the downfalls.
No, I understand completely. So tell me about your first time in the county.
First time in the county.
How many times did you go to the county?
I've been to the county about only 3 times.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
It ain't.
No, it could be way worse.
Every time,
it could be way
worse. Look though. Every time I went to the county, I went to the pen. So
So it was like a different cases every time.
Yeah.
Oh. So tell me about your first time.
My first case was attempted robbery. We tried to rob the R10t surplus, the gun store.
Oh wow.
And
what the heck are you guys thinking?
My homeboy's mom had worked there, so she was like one of the managers. And so my homie, rest in peace, he was listening to his mom say how much money had came in the safe. And by that time, I was in the robbery because I wasn't really into selling dope or whatnot like that. So I'd that's what our little thing was.
That's what I get it.
That's why, and I end up paying for it, but that's what our thing was. And how
did you guys do it? If you could,
no, it's over. The case is there. The case is over now. Yeah, so of course, that's a wrap. What it was is, I heard his mom talking to the owner like how much money was owed that I made for the week, and so the weekend was coming up. We had already been there previously to go buy some ski masks from the same surplus to do some other stuff that we had did. So what happened was, he called me that morning and he was like, look, bro, mom's talking to whatever the owner's name was at the time, and this is in the safe. And the money is not there for the weekend. So that's also there. So his sister worked there. So I'm telling bro, I'm like, look, we got to tell your sister what's up. He like, no, we can't tell her. We can't tell her nothing. But I'm like, I don't want to go in here and scare your sister to death. We going here to scare these people. And so he like, no. So what it was is I talked him into getting her to go to work late. So only it would be the manager there and the other worker, and the security wasn't supposed to be there that day because it was a Sunday. So we knew that he was off on that Sunday, but miraculously he comes in on a Sunday. But that let me get to what happened. So we off, and we go in, handle our business, and I went to go. It was like a team job where I sent him to the safe, and then I was bashing all the countertops to get all the guns out of the because it was a gun store. It was a gun store.
So they're like
so it's right
under,
So we got a duffel bag, and so it was planned. So when I come in, in my peripheral, the security guard is in the corner, but we already on our way to handle the mission. But as soon as I go in and jump over the counter, whatnot, to do my due, security starts shooting at us. So I run all the way to the back of the store. So my buddy comes to the back too, and I say, I'm finna give up. This ain't finna be I didn't. Yeah. I ain't trying to get no murder. I ain't that tough.
But
for real. So I'm like, okay. I just throw my hands up in the air, but instead of me being dumb, I didn't take off my ski mask, and I could have took off my clothes because I was in the store with clothes. Inconvenient. So I could have walked out like I was a customer because they was trying to get all the customers out the store. But I was so paranoid from the gunshots. So I just threw my hands up, and then I took my mask off, and I walked to the front. So my plan was to try to get to the front so I could get out the door. So as I'm walking to the front, the security is screaming at me, telling me, get out on the ground, get out on the ground. I'm like, I ain't got nothing. I'd already stashed my burner. And so I'm crawling towards he tells me to get out on the ground. So I get on the ground, and he kicks me. And I'm like,
this fool.
But by that time, the gun shop lady has her gun out drawn on me too. So
scary.
I'm laying there on the floor. So I see cars coming by. You know, out the they have a tent on, you know, like any gun shop, they have a tent. So I'm seeing cars coming by. So I'm like, if I could just make it to this door, I'll be all right. I don't have nothing in my hand. I could just try to run by, you know, the security guard, because he's still focused on me and my buddy. So my buddy is hiding. I try to run by him, like get up to run by him. He shot me point blank range. Pop, pop. So now I'm laying on the floor, arm back this way.
And you're hit.
And so I'm hit.
Oh, no.
So he like, I told you don't move. I told you don't move. And so by that time I'm like, I ain't moving. I ain't moving.
Well,
so
thank God you're here, right?
Yeah. So I'm waiting for the police to come. And so then the police come, they handcuff me while I'm shot and drag me outside. Wow. So they put me on the pavement. But what I didn't know was that they had SWAT outside. They had the corners blocked off. Because what it was is that we had enough ammo in there to shoot it out with the police for a month. So they had SWAT on the roof.
For sure.
They had everything covered. They had the news and all that.
Because I don't think anybody's like, crazy or down enough to go damn around with them gun store.
But I mean, it was a surplus too. You know, the Dickie suits, the everything, and so it wasn't that far fetched. I mean, now looking at it, it was.
Bro, you're
but back
down.
then we was with whatever kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
That's crazy.
So I end up I end up so I'm shot and I'm in handcuffs and I'm laying on the ground. So an officer walks up to me and he starts cussing at me. I say, well, where's the ambulance? Because I'm like,
I'm hurt, fool.
All right, I know this part. Where is and so I see one in my peripheral and they telling me that was for the officers just in case we shot at the officers. The ambulance for me was on his way to come get me. So now I'm laying there. I swear. And so I'm like, man, I'm sitting here dying because now I'm starting to feel fuzzy and I'm getting warm. And so the officer tells me, I hope you die. And it's crazy that a black officer walks over to me and then he asks me my religious beliefs. And at that time I was like, I had told him, and so then he prayed. A black officer prayed with me right there. And so when the ambulance comes, they take the handcuffs off me and put me in the stretcher. When I get into the ambulance, the blood shoots to the roof. What happened was that I hit a main artery, and what saved my life is putting me in the handcuffs because it closed the wound right here. So while I'm like this, I'm not bleeding out too much. Whereas when they took the handcuffs off, it just and so. But I was in the paramedics, so they knew what to do and all that. God. So thank God I'm here. I survived that.
That's right.
So when I wake up, I have to go to the county jail.
All fucked up.
Right. And then that starts.
So tell me about your experience. Obviously you get to the county. It's your first time there. You're young. You're shot. You have an open wound. How was that process for you?
They stuck me in regular jail with everyone else. I stayed in the county hospital. No, I take that back. I stayed in the county hospital for a week. They sent me to general population. So in general population is, you with everybody. I wasn't per se scared. It was like, it is what it is. I'd already been a juvenile. I already been to a couple of lockups a few times. So I know the process. You got friends that coming in and out the county all the time. I was just worried that I was injured. I couldn't defend myself.
Because now you have an open wound and it's like, there's like staff. Like
Right.
Were you scared that you were going to get that?
I wasn't worried about staff. I was worried about fighting. I was worried about the enemigos because it ain't. Everything else is irrelevant.
Yeah,
I really wasn't worried about. I just wanted to heal, and I was worried more about my case because I knew it was a big case. Because you got officers coming talking about, oh, you're the guy that did this, because they have to take me back to court all the time. They're like, oh yeah, you the guys that tried to rob the surplus. You the guys that.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of that. And
how long did you fight your case for?
19 months.
Oh, okay.
19 months.
That is
about 19 months.
That's a long time.
And then, but what's so crazy is I only got 28 months for the.
Oh, so you kind of
No, they took the 19. No, I had that. I just had 28 more. Right, they took half of that, and I just
finished it off.
What
would you say was the craziest thing you experienced your first time in the county jail?
Okay. I'm in the holding tank. Yeah, I'm in the holding tank. So I got my little arm piece on. I'm in there with my buddy. And matter of fact, this is my first case. This is not even when I got shot. This is when I went to the county for a GTA.
Okay.
They have what you call serenos. Of course, I know what serenos are. They got the woods and the black. So I go in the tank and we're all in reception like this. Mm-hmm. So the serenos are going to the white boys and dumping them on their head, running through their pockets, because when you come through reception or whatever,
the processing
processing, you still in your regular clothes. So that's when they had cash money then. So when they had cash money, so they go through robbing. So smoker on the ground, gonna get up and try to say something to the serenos. So the serenos turn around like, this don't got nothing to do with you. This ain't your race. So now the blacks, they jump on the smoker. So I'm sitting in the corner with my arms trying to look tough, like trying to peep out, what's going on, what's not to be said, what not to do. So it's this big guy, right? So they're clowning, talking about the first time dudes go to the county or whatnot. So they talking about taking dudes' butts. So imagine you in there, and so then you got these dudes talking about booty holes, and they like, squeeze up like this, and so you like terrified, but then you trying to hold face like
I'm fucking squeezing mine. Screw that.
But they was just clowning. They knew that it was some first timers in there. Then a couple of dudes that was lacing me on, where to say, look, say you don't gangbang, so you'll be able to, do certain things. And I ran into certain homies, and it was like that. But that was
which
like
was
the
good,
most. That was the
you don't always want to. It's good that happened to you, because there's sometimes young men that go in there and they automatically already want to like be in the mix, and they get themselves caught up so fast.
Right. Well, see, I knew I was fighting a serious case, and so trying to show who I wasn't worried about getting a name, because I already got a name out here. I'm not worried about being
for sure
that dude or whatever from the set.
Yeah.
So, a lot of dudes do go in trying to, I'm gonna be this dog, or I'm gonna be this beast or whatever.
You go in there to be somebody that you're really not out here in the world.
That wasn't never, my homeboys was that. So, I didn't have to be that. I just was with them. I was that to them.
Yeah.
Like.
I get it. So you got sentenced and you went to prison. Mm-hmm. Where did you go?
Corcoran State Penitentiary, level 3 yard.
And how was that experience for you? Just your first time in, like, you're in the bus and the gates are opening.
It really got real because, after you're in the county for so long, you become comfortable with moving around. You end up trusty and going on visits with your friends and fighting in
the corners
and, at medical. So when I got to the pen, that was the first time I seen the towers and the gunners. And so they made all of us turn around because they was escorting somebody, and he had a mask on.
Oh, wow.
And so then that reminded me of Jeffrey Dahmer or something like that.
Crazy shit, yeah.
Right. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's real now. It's really getting real.
Yeah, super
so
scary.
Everything was more of a new experience that of of the stuff that I'd already seen. You know, you seen movies and, you know, stuff like that. So that was just really,
Just
that was
adjusting.
it's just adjusting. It was just adjusting. It's just adjusting.
Did you work out?
All the time. I had to get my arm back
I was
because
gonna
there
say that.
ain't
Yeah.
no.
Did your mom go visit you?
Yes, she did.
Nice.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Did you have pen pals?
Not really. It's like when you go to prison, you kind of like left on your own,
Yeah.
and that's what the a lot of people don't realize, that when we out here, whatever that you're into, is that when you go to prison, you will be left alone at a certain extent.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You're going to be left alone to a certain extent. You're going to lose people. Unfortunately, even though on my second time going to prison, I lost my grandmother. That's somebody who was the closest to me. I wasn't able to go to the funeral because of the nature of my crime. So, you know, it's those type of situations that hurt the most. Besides, I don't care about, okay, I wasn't on the streets or whatnot. Yeah, but
I know what you mean. I lost my grandma when I was gone as well.
oh, okay.
So
okay.
I understand that
Right.
feeling.
And then the system has no remorse for you. So while you're going through that, you know, they want to try to send you to the hole,
Just
disrupt
push you
your
down.
program.
Yeah.
Right. And so with dealing with that is a whole nother pressure in itself, with just the prison experience in itself.
Yeah. So tell me, so you got home, you got out. You got out, what did you do? After, because you only got like 2 years or something, right?
And so, mind you, this whole time I have been in the entertainment business.
Okay, so so you're
Therefore,
entertaining.
yes, I'm a rapper. I
Okay.
rap. I'm Tylo Tiny Amp, but I had a rap partner by the name of Tommy Gunn, which was my cousin, in '95, and on say some dates. I make us old. No, but
But that's okay.
no, that was my rap partner. We were signed to Eric Turman, and we had a manager by the name of Lori Steen, and unfortunately in '96, I found him murdered in our home, and which was Lori's home, and we lived with her. She was our manager. Tommy Gunn and Lori were boyfriend and girlfriend, and I was like her brother. You know, her brother had unfortunately been murdered a few years earlier due to gang violence, and so when I met Lori, she took on a big sister role with helping me with music, and I had introduced her to my cousin Tommy, and they eventually hit it off. We became like her pit bulls, you know, because we seen a lot of people, you know, trying to take advantage of her. She was a very lovely young lady. She sold weed to the industry people. That's how I met a lot of industry folks around that time, and was in a lot of those circles, with her also being our manager, with her also being rap. That's how I met Eric Sherman, from Redman to Keith Murray to Method Man to Pac to all the West Coast dudes out here, legends, and you know, things of that nature.
Super cool.
Yeah. So mind you, I was still, you know,
doing
into that doing me. So that's always been my first love, my first passion before the hood, and all. That's what made the hood damn near want me, because I was the popular rap kid. So it was like, oh yeah, you gonna represent us. It was like, yeah, you gonna represent us at this time,
That's
buddy.
right.
So you know, that's it. That's what I was doing, and unfortunately, you know, I'm still in the streets. You still are held accountable for certain activities and certain things you just want to go do because that's what you're into at that time. Of course, I want to go put in some work when things happen to my homeboys, or you know, when I hear of, you know, unruly things in the street that I don't agree with. That's the culture of gangbanging. First response.
I know
Easy
exactly
call,
what you mean.
you know. So that was just the way it was. So.
It's in you. It's you.
Right. It's not.
So how did you catch your second case?
Unfortunately, I like to use that word a lot, but I was on my way to Magic Mountain. Now, let me run the story back. My house, that my grandmother was living at that time, my house was kind of like headquarters for a lot of my friends and whatnot. You know, we took care of the house. And so a rapper by the name of Chingy and some friends that I had from Disturbing the Peace.
Chingy,
I like the way right. And this is before in a friend of mine named Bobby Valentino. I have a friend named Poon Daddy that was helping us out as far as the industry and, you know, bringing us around a lot of industry dudes.
I just want to get to know you. That
was yes,
okay.
Yes. I was there for all of that. So matter of fact, when Bobby was doing radio, Poon was their manager at the time.
Okay.
And so while he would go do radio, I would go do radio with Bobby.
Okay.
So, you know, they'd be like, Poon, what you got coming out? Oh, well, we got Tylo out the district coming out, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at that time, Luda was kind of low-key getting into it with T.I. So, you know, with us being in the streets or whatnot, you know, a lot of these rappers team up with LA dudes to make sure they be able to be comfortable in these streets. And so the homie Poon, who's out our neighborhood, came and got us. So it was like a double whammy, because it was like, already I'm from the hood and I do music. So it wasn't like a security thing. It was more like, hey, let me help you with this music thing. But they know in return that
you got
I got the boys, I got the homies, and we just gonna react how we react when it comes to certain situations. Anyway, and so that's how I got, you know, involved with, you know, them and whatnot.
So you're in Magic Mountain.
So, right. Yeah. I didn't even get to Magic Mountain. My friend had got shot at around the corner and everybody had left. So we was waiting on Bobby and Poon to show up to the house. I had my gun on me. I'm sitting outside. Another one of my partners said, I'm finna leave and go up to where the rest of the boys at. I say, I'm finna go too. That was my mistake. Left, we went by, the police had already been up there, so it wasn't nothing for us to do. So we made a big U-turn to come back, because I'm like, take me back home anyway, because I'm getting ready to go to Magic Mountain. This was a Saturday, we chilling or whatnot. And so by driving home, well, coming back down the street, because we didn't go too far, the crash was going east and we were going north, and crash seen us. And
I'm sure he already knew who you were anyways.
Jammed us up. But what's so crazy is that they were looking for another vehicle, different color and all that. They just pulled us over just to pull us over because it was crashed. So I got out the car because I knew I had the gun on me. And so while attempting to run, the police shot me in the back.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got shot again.
Bro.
Yeah, the police.
You're alive, thank God.
The police shot me in the back and blew me forward. He shot about 6 times. He was trying to kill me. Goodness. And I was just trying to make it so I can toss the gun and then, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what happened?
I was shot and I was charged with attempted murder on a police officer.
What the freaks?
Right. I was charged with attempted murder on a police officer, and I was facing 51 to life. And this is just because of my strikes and because of my priors. That's all. You know how the justice. That's how it goes. So they wanted to make sure that they got something out of me. I knew that I was low key in the right because I didn't flash. They didn't even see a gun. So the law states that you have to point the gun at the officer and they have to feel the point of danger, but
especially because you got shot in the back.
Exactly, directly in the back. So I thought I was home. I'm like, okay, I'm finna get some money up out of them. And the DA turned it around. They charged me with the attempted murder because first it was just assault. They charged me with attempted murder. They scared my mom. I couldn't really afford an attorney at the time, and so with that being said, my mom didn't try to investigate as far as she just worried about, baby, I don't want you to go to prison for life.
Yeah.
You know, these people talking about they finna take your life away. I don't, you know, and so a lot of the emphasis wasn't on the wrong that they did. It was just more on what had happened and on what I did. And all I did is really got out the car and ran because I knew I had the thing on me.
Wow.
And I end up doing 13 years for that.
And you didn't even do anything.
I didn't even do anything. So it was just my karma. It was just I believe that God does everything for a reason.
I
I
believe that as
at
well.
that time before I went to prison the first time, I was doing the most. I had songs coming out. I had been signed to Snoop. I had been dealing with disturbing the peace, and I was still out here doing reckless shit. I was still out here want to take dudes' chains when I didn't have to in Hollywood, because that was just what we did, like to take rappers' chains or the NBA dudes' chains and things of that nature. That was just the culture, and God was like, "Hold on, I'm blessing you with all this.
And
Oh
you
yeah,
still
yeah, let me get this.
tighten up, fool.
Let me take this from you real fast."
But you know, it sucks that you had to go through that, but at least now you realize, like, you think about it, like, damn, okay, I really needed to go through this in order for me to like step back and actually analyze what the fuck I was doing.
Right, because I might be dead. And it has made me a better person. I'm not bitter because of my experiences. I've had way more blessings that I have had bad experiences. Even when you think, oh, you've been to prison twice, you did this amount of years. I didn't experience life. I've been places that people may never be able to get to go, and I've come home. I started a clothing brand, which is Crenshaw by Nature.
Nice.
Me and my big homie, and we are across the United States with people representing,
Good.
me from the Crenshaw district. And this was before Nip deceased.
Well, we're
you
gonna
know.
get to that. We're gonna talk about
All right,
don't worry. We're gonna
all
talk
right,
about
for
where you're
sure,
at
for
and
sure.
that's good. That's where you're at now, and But we're gonna talk about a little bit about your 13 years, like that.
All right, yeah.
Your
The yard. You want to go to the yard?
Yeah,
with
let's
me?
go to the
Yeah,
yard.
let's go to the yard. Let's go.
let's So where did you go?
Oh, I went to Centinela. My first stop was the Centinela 4 yard.
Wow.
Yes.
And tell me about that experience. Tell me when you got there, because obviously you got sentenced to how long?
13 and a half years.
13 and a half. And
I took a deal for that.
And you did your whole 13 years.
I did 11 and a half.
Okay. So that means you probably got in a lot of trouble, because it sounds like you did like majority of your time.
Yeah.
Because how many facilities did you go to in those 13 years?
3, I think. I went to Centinela, CRC, Lancaster. Then I got sent to Chino. Right.
Okay.
Because I had a hardship for grandma. That's what I did. That's what I did do when I was in the county. I hurry up, got the doctors and all that. So, because I didn't want to go up north. I wanted to stay down here to stay close, so I'd be able to get visits from, my folks.
Wait, I didn't even ask you about your healing when you got shot in the back. How many times did you get shot?
Once.
Oh, just once.
Once.
I mean,
right.
It's not just.
I have 98. No, I would say about 80% nerve damage in this arm from the first shot. But then I have no rotatory cuff on this arm from being shot in the back, because when he shot me in the back, it blew out my rotator cuff. But the doctors told me I'd never be able to lift my arms again. I'd never be able to, do certain things, and they just didn't understand that going through LA County that
you had no choice.
You had no choice. It was gonna get right one way or the other.
And you're able to do that now.
Oh yeah.
Oh good.
I work out. I mean, my hand is paralyzed.
She's like, yep. He picks me up. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So you're in Centinela. What was the craziest thing you saw there?
Well, I went to Chino first.
Okay. Well, tell me about Chino.
Because you go to reception.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to say. I went to Chino, and the craziest thing there is the riot that happened.
Was that your first riot that you've experienced?
It was my first major riot that was, how would I say, the police weren't able to control it. They had to bring in the National Guard.
Oh, wow.
That was a real, I didn't have time to be scared in that situation. It wasn't nothing about that. It was scary, but at that time, it was just about survival. It was where you at. It was between the blacks and the Mexicans in the woods. The woods and the Mexicans, in prison team up a lot when it comes to the blacks. And so therefore, it was just a whole yard riot that started in the kitchen that moved to every building. So wherever the numbers were,
Wow.
and you was at a disadvantage, that's what happened. I was in a dorm. I was in a situation where I was at a disadvantage. And so, therefore, we all blacks had to team up, Bloods, Crips, whatever, and get cracking against dudes that I had previously talked to, was cool with, was exchanged stories with. And that's what was so mind boggling about that situation. And it was so long. Then you had other people trying to, we had control of the whole yard to the point where downstairs some Serenos had opened up the guard towers, so they was running in on certain blacks trying to stab them. And so with that being said, we was just trying to protect ourselves
Yeah,
and
of
just trying to live
course.
because the numbers was just enormous.
And I wonder, like, because everybody probably feels exactly how you feel. Like, it's like everybody has to just protect themselves, and everybody just has no choice, and it's just how it is, unfortunately, and it sucks because I'm sure everybody's like, "Damn, I was just talking to this guy," and now it's like we gotta fight, and it's like they probably don't even want to either, but it's like
they have to,
Yeah.
and with Sereno politics and Woods politics is a lot more severe, I would say, between blacks. Blacks, we kind of do what we want. I'm not gonna lie, we bounce back and forth. We have a structure, but it's not like the Serenos and the Woods have a structure, rules. You will die if this happens,
Yes.
or so. I was cool with a couple of Woods and a couple of Serenos, and they always would tell me, Tylo, if it crack off, you go that way, I go that way. But it is what it is. I'm gonna handle my business.
Of course. Yeah, you got to protect you.
Man.
Because it's you over anybody.
Right. You better turn
Right.
into something or be a victim. And
Yeah.
so I would rather be an aggressor
That's right.
than be a victim.
Yeah. That's
Anytime.
right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that was like the craziest thing, which is friends, right? I don't think it could get any crazier.
It does.
Oh, tell us.
So they have to bring in the SWAT and the National Guard to control the yard or whatnot. So now we're sleeping on the yard. So now we're in draws on the yard, and they're bringing us blankets. So they have us separated. So while we're escorting across the yard, there's Serenos coming, there's blacks coming. So people are trying to get away from the COs to make an example, to stab dudes and stuff like that. And so we go to the hole. So now we're in the hole. I'm in Chino hole. I forgot what hall it was or whatnot, but I'm there. And I get put in the cell with OG Hoover. If anybody knows that gang violence, the 60s and the Hoovers are like top rivals. So once I go into the cell, I'm going into the cell because we all being brought in from the riot. It's a buff dude sitting on the toilet. Shit. Like, nah, he's not shitting, but in your cell, it's only a toilet in your bunk. So he's sitting to greet me to come in the cell. We're like, bro, you can have the top bunk or whatnot. And matter of fact, he wanted the top bunk and he gave me the bottom bunk because, mind you, I still have a sling from
and then you're back
being
and
shot.
Everything. Yeah.
So I go in the cell, and so the door's locked, and like, hey, where you from? And I turn around, I'm like, rolling 60s. When that dude said, I'm from 74 Hoover, I said, oh my God.
You probably did it like that too, right?
I'm like, oh, just like it was like a breath in me, like, oh, here we go. But no, it was a black thing at that time because of where we was at.
So you had to
we
stick
were
together.
In the hole, right? So, it's my homeboy Snoop. His name is Big Snoop from 7-4. The first thing he does is he goes to and he lifts up a little bit and he pulls out 4 knives. And he say, these 2 are yours and these 2 are mine. And when these gates rack,
you're taking off.
We getting cracking. And from there, it was like, we used to bust down in the cell every day with all the blacks. So it was still a respect level because on certain nights they in the whole, the blacks have a night, then the Woods and the Mexicans Torenos have a night. So like a talent show.
Oh, okay.
You know
I was
what
gonna ask like a night. I was like, okay,
a night that you can scream over the tier because everything's shut down at a certain time in the whole, and you just have to be quiet and everything.
Do you guys say excuse me on the tier, or like
yes,
how like
you do.
Okay,
yes you do. You scream radio, excuse me on the tier, and you ask for everybody. It's a high level of respect. So, but that will fool you too, because you thinking that, with the respect and all that, that when the gates will unlock, that maybe we could come to some type of understanding. You got the shot callers and, doing little shit. And, but with politics in prison, politics are very tricky. Politics are just for those who are the favorite, and that's it. Politics only favor those who are the favorite in prison. Politics can always go against you if you are not liked. And politics can always work for you if you are liked. So getting back to the crazy thing is that the blacks are in the shower, and they have a Wood coming back from, two Woods are getting escorted back from court or whatever. And so one of the Woods, the head shot caller, tells one of the Woods to go take off on the blacks in the shower, which the COs is not supposed to have us out at the same time anyway. So if we're showering, it's supposed to be a CO there with us because we're in the hole. So while the Woods run down there and try to take off on the blacks in the shower, why do we see a Wood come flying over the tier? Plop, hit the ground. We all screaming on the gates. We got one. We got one. Because the Wood shot caller had sent him at the black, and then the blacks beat the Woods up, boy, threw them boys up over the tier. But it wasn't that. It was just from the second tier. They lucky it wasn't the third tier.
I'm sure it's still high, right?
And what's so crazy is that the COs come in and they damn near shit themselves when they see this man falling off the tier.
Girl,
so we all screaming on the bars trying to.
Hey, how chaotic is that, right?
Yeah, it was that there was the most craziest and hyped up.
It's like the devil. Like, I don't mean it like that, the devil, but I'm like how
the devil's playground.
Yeah, like how humans are like, okay, like we got one. Like how crazy is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like intense. Like, how do you feel like when you think about that now? Like, obviously, when you're going through that process, you're like, fuck, you don't even know what the fuck. You're just going with it. But like now, you're just like, man, what the?
I have mixed feelings on that because if the blacks had attacked some Woods and threw them off, I would have sympathy. I don't feel nothing behind it.
Okay.
And I still don't.
Okay. So you're
besides a couple of stabbings and
it's not normal, right? But I mean, in there and in my channel, obviously.
But it become right.
Yeah.
It this lifestyle and these type of things become normal to you to the point where I can't even recollect all of the. Like when you say, well, what's the craziest? I'm probably going to be at the house like, oh, man, I should have told them this. I should have told them, man, these fools did this. Or the homies might see it and be like, bro, why you didn't tell them about the such and such? But then a lot of stuff we keep under wraps too because well,
there's only certain things that you could speak on. There's certain things that you cannot.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
So that was in Delano, right? No, in Chino. That was in Chino.
That was in Chino. Then I went to Centinela. What happened crazy at Centinela?
Or what was like the nicest thing? Anywhere in any of these 13 years.
I have a few. But honestly, the nicest thing is seeing your folks walk through that door.
That's right.
On visiting day. You look forward to that. The nicest thing is when they're knocking on your door and they're telling you that, Hope, you got mail. That's the nicest. Besides, the acts of human kindness within the walls, because that's how you coexist. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't see that. You think a prison is hard and all that, but no, it's a lot of camaraderie. It's a lot of self-help. I learned I learned sign language in prison.
A lot of people have, huh?
Yeah, but I took it in school.
Oh, nice.
I took it in school to the point that I was an interpreter for the high school when they didn't have an interpreter because they would pay the interpreters to come, but they couldn't have them all the time. So the deaf people that I could talk to, they would come get me to translate for. Because I helped.
How cool is that, right?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I wanted to work in education. I was not going to. For one, they had these PIA jobs, where I was so against that because I refused to go help build more on a prison to help lock us up. I don't care what race. I didn't care what the pay number was. And I understood the dudes that went that didn't have no family. They got life. You getting paid $1 or something a day, and you're able to sustain and live comfortable in prison. I didn't knock that. But for me, I have a date and I'm going somewhere. I'm not doing no PIA. I wasn't doing no fire camp. I wasn't helping the prison system help lock us more up.
No,
I'm
I
seeing
understand.
inmates working on cells. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And they're putting center blocks to lock up more of us. No,
not cool.
They couldn't pay me enough. So
Yeah.
I always had the jobs that I wanted. One of my buddies, Serenos, when I was at Centinela, got me a job in the hospital. That's where I wanted to work. So I waited until I was able to get that. And it's funny because no blacks hooked me up, only a Sereno did. And that was from a class that I was going to for self-help. Because in prison, my mom just asked me, she was like, baby, just get something out of it. Don't just go in there and just, kick it. And I seen the dudes just off drugs, dudes walking around off hot meds. They can't cope with prison. And you have to do something to preoccupy your time.
Yeah.
So, or you are going to become the zombie, or you're going to become institutionalized.
Yeah.
And so I was never on that. I was always, what's my next step? I always had lifers around me, and I always knew that I had a date, and I was cautious of that.
So that's what motivated you and kept you going.
Right.
You did have a date.
I did have a date, and the dudes around me that didn't have a date was doing the most.
Yeah.
They was going to class. They was learning things, and when you are
going.
what you right. And then the riffraffs was over there playing pinochle, dominoes, shooting dice with her. I did it all. I was with all of it. In prison, I was with all of it.
You did it all, which is good.
Except
right?
no homosexual.
No.
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 That
didn't even cross my mind.
No, because but. When you hear these numbers, when you hear people been in prison this long, that's the only thing that they try to connect it with.
Yeah,
that's the first thing they connect it with.
That didn't even cross my mind.
You have to state this. You have to say it because there's people that indulge, but it's like I tell people all this, they was like that before they went to prison.
Yeah.
Prison doesn't, I've known dudes have been in prison 24, 27, 32 years. They never looked at a man, never had a craving for a man.
Yeah.
So you can't say that prison turns
up.
you into that. And I hate that stigma. I hate that stereotype.
Got it.
Yeah. And so it's always I've had girlfriends in the past ask me where, did this No. Yeah. Did you ever? No. Mm-hmm. Well, you act like this, huh? What the?
Yeah.
Or it's an attack. It's something where, oh, you act like this because you was here. And so, a lot of times you find yourself having to defend some shit that don't even cross your mind. Like you said, didn't even cross your mind.
Yeah, I didn't even think that.
But when you say you did it all, the other people that looking gonna be like,
wait, let me fix this right now.
You did it all, huh? Oh, okay.
I see you.
No.
So where did you parole from?
I paroled from Chino.
So you went back to Chino.
I ended up going back to Chino because I got kicked out of Lancaster prison.
Okay. Why did you get kicked out of Lancaster prison? Because that's the third prison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I got kicked out of Lancaster prison for being involved in, I would say, naughty illegal activities. I guess because the case is over now. Yeah, I could talk about it. I was being investigated. What happened was a CO was bringing in things from the street, and I was one of the, I would say the beneficiaries of the goods that was coming in.
I get it.
Or whatnot, and the yard was just, kind of wild. And I don't want to say too much because that's how people live and survive in there.
Yeah.
So for me just to spill the secrets, I'd be a hypocrite because I always say that about other dudes. Be like, man, why is y'all telling everything that how we getting in? But what had happened is that somebody had told or whatnot.
It's always that, right? Somebody always has to be a hater.
Somebody get cracked, yeah. But the CO was bringing in the goods and whatnot, and in that time he was being a music producer, and I recorded 8 songs in prison. I had got some beats from the legendary Battle Cat, Terrace Martin, because I was already, affiliated with the music thing. With Snoop and them, I was a part of the Nephews. So when I went to prison, it was like, okay, at that time, then everybody like, oh, what happened to Tylo? Oh, Tylo rap career. Well, it's over now. I got 13 years. That's out the, in my mind. But at that time, never gave up hope. So, it was a CO. He was bringing the goods in, and he was doing music. So I hooked him up to go to both of me we was Dallas Cowboy fans. So I went to Dallas, and I hooked him up. I had to plug on some Dallas Cowboy tickets or whatnot. And
you're the man then, huh?
I plugged him up with that. So, hey, I bullshit you not. For my birthday in prison, I had 2 ounces of some chronic. I had a half a gallon of Ciroc and tequila. And I had some wing. They had this place called Woody's. I had some barbecue ribs from Woody's. And I had a half a Sakatumi cake and like a bunch of blunts, and like we went up. But in prison I had a PlayStation Vita in prison.
Oh yeah, you're living it up. You were cool.
Once you learn how to make some money,
you survive.
You survive.
So you made it out.
Yes. But the CO ended up getting caught. They rounded us all up, and they put me in the hole for 6 months on another 4-yard. They kicked us out the institution. They said we're a threat to safety and security. But what's so crazy is that we had did a little rap video. That's when all the prisoners was starting to do their little rap videos and stuff like that. And so then the fellas was on me about a video that I didn't put up on my page or whatnot. And I'm like, y'all, people kind of know me. Not like I'm famous or nothing, but people in the streets kind of know me. If I put it up,
we're going to get in trouble.
I swear to God, the next day, my friend is coming from work, walking across the yard. He said, CO such and such said, take that video down. And I'm like, told y'all. And then the next few days, they was already investigating the CO. So the feds was coming in, and that night they came in like SWAT and rounded everybody up from the CO but they was really on him because they had been trying to, I guess,
find out who it
catch
was.
him for some years or whatnot. He ended up coming to prison. And what do you know about him coming on the same yard I was on in Chino?
Wow. You're like, yo.
I couldn't believe it, but that night they came and got him because it was already known that he was a CO. And so it was going to cause a rift between the blacks and the other races. But he was a blood. He was also a blood too. He was a blood out of Pomona. He had did his time and all. He's a pastor now. People.
He made your experience kind of smooth. So shout out to him, right?
Yeah. Hey, that's my guy, man. Hey, that was my buddy. That was my buddy. That was my guy. But that wasn't the main point. Like the whole yard was on. That's how it was. It was popping.
Right. It is what it is. So you made it out. You're home. You've been home. How long have you been home, if you don't mind me asking?
7 years. I got out the end of 2015.
Well, congratulations.
Like December 2015.
So you made it for Christmas and stuff, right? Nice.
And Christmas and New Year's.
So tell us. Oh, well, actually, I want to ask you, how did you get signed to Snoop?
Well, I had a big homie by the name of Big D, and I had, from previously dealing with Eric Sherman and them, I knew a few industry people.
Got it.
I used to tell my homie Big D, yeah, I'm the hardest rapper in the hood. And so one day he takes us up to their filming. What did they film? In the hood it wasn't in the hood on Crenshaw. What, Training Day? They were doing Training Day, and so Big D brings us up there to this movie set because that's when Snoop and was doing the East Siders and Battle Cat and all those type of stuff. And so we go up to the movie set. I have a homeboy by the name of Big Cat too, not Battle Cat, but Cat. Had knew Snoop previous through gang stuff, because Snoop used to host gang basketball, the city stuff at his house, just, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember.
So, he had told Snoop, I got a little homeboy that rap. So Snoop had told Big D he wanted to meet me while we was on the movie set. So mind you, we go, Big D say, yeah, dog want to meet you, and whoop. So I was geeked.
Super happy.
So my homeboy tells me, go get your CD. And I'm like, because I had been working on like a little demo. And so I was like, all right, I'll go get my CD or whatnot. So we're in the jungles now in the back of the Crenshaw Mall. And on this little trailer. So coming off the trailer is a few Bloods. And so Snoop was talking to him, and Snoop was chopping it up with him or whatnot. I guess they had gave some music or whatnot. And I knew a couple of them. They like, oh, what's up, T? Ooh, hey, how you doing? The quick little Mad Dog and yeah, whatever. So we go on the trailer, and so Snoop was like, my homie Big D was like, yeah, this is my homeboy Amp, this is my little homie Tylo, and Snoop was like, yeah, I heard about you. And I was like, for real? And so then I was like, yeah, I got the CD. You want to listen to it? He's like, yeah, let me get it. And I told him no.
I know that's right. I like that.
I'm like, and I say, no disrespect, but you're not finna use my CD as an ashtray. And it was so funny.
Facts.
It was funny. He was like, nah, nephew, and I was big on, I ain't gonna let Snoop call me nephew. When they call me nephew, I didn't say shit. I didn't say nothing. He say, nah, nephew. He say, nah, nephew. He say, I'm gonna listen to it, and you can come get it out at the house.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I for sure. Here you go.
Yeah.
You had it, and so Snoop and then went listen to it for real. And my big homie Big D called me the next day and like, Snoop want me to bring you out to the house. So we meet up with Big D. We go out to the house, and I come in. Snoop, my boy Superfly, Trey D wasn't there that day. It was a few. Goldie was there. Goldie's brothers and them, and Sag. I got to mention my boy Sag and them, and they like, oh, that's a dude that did that song. So Snoop had already took my song and put it. Remember, he had a mix show on the radio. He took my song. He's like, hey nephew, can I put your song on the radio? And I was like, for sure. So I came.
You're off a shizzle.
Right. I came in the door with already, but mind you, I'd already been running around with Keith Murray, Redman, Eric Sherman.
Yeah, so you didn't.
So I already knew the process of hanging. That wasn't on my mind. That's how I knew not to give Snoop my CD, to tell him no, because it's like, you'll be hanging forever.
Yes.
You'll be kicking it forever.
For sure.
And just because you cool and you not no groupie and you with the business, guess what? You become like the couch. And the couch is there, but the couch is just there.
That's right. That's right.
It's not a problem. And then some people be cool with being the couch because it's so many people out there on the outside that want to be
in the couch.
In the couch. And that wasn't for me. And
yeah, I know that's right.
That's why I'm still going now. It's like,
Yeah.
So with that being said, my song, and that's how I start, but then at that time it was a lot of rappers in there and it was real competitive. So I came up with an idea Snoop called everybody nephew, so I came up with an idea I was trying to put the rest of my crew on, which is G Bob, Pusta Rob, the guys that you all know now as the Slauson Boys.
Okay.
You know, we was called the Six Pack back then. I was trying to put us all on, and so I came to Snoop with an idea called the Nephews, and he loved it. He was like, that's why he was dealing with me. But so and then I'm trying to get all my homeboys on. And he was like, no, he wanted me to rap with one of his homeboys by the name of E. White. And so he was like, let me Phil Jackson this. I'm going to let you Kobe this, but just let me Phil Jackson. I'm going to put you with my boy. And some dude that, I'm not going to say some dude. I take that back, E. White. My bad, bro. My friend, but I didn't know him at the time.
Yeah.
He was just another couch in the room.
Yes.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. And Dog was like, hey, I'm going to put you with this guy, somebody that always been there. I'm like, who? Oh, didn't even know he rapped. It was hard and so I couldn't bring the rest of the crew. I just had to get myself in
for
there.
Sure. And
but
then,
it was always about us in the district. Always y'all gonna know where Crenshaw and Slauson came from, because it wasn't nobody to represent Crenshaw and Slauson at that time like that anyway. We had CJ Mack and we had Laquan, but as far as saying, look, we from Rolling 60s, it's Crenshaw and Slauson, we didn't have that. So we was on that. That's our group was called the Six Pack. You know, and we were showing that. And so with that being said, Snoop said that he wouldn't do it without me. At that time, I was getting a lot of, publicity. At that time, I had never had a song by Battle Cat. I love my big brother, Cat. Cat had gave me a card in the swap meet and told me to call him in the month. I'm like, I'm the hottest rapper in the hood. He gave me a card and said, holler at me in a month. That had so much.
How cool you are in a month.
But, you know, at that time, everybody at the top of their careers. And, you know, you got this dude talking about, you know, I rap, I lost Tommy Gunn and the Eric Sermon thing. He had got scared and went back to the East Coast because, you know, everybody talked that tough shit, but shit,
ain't nobody, not everybody's with it.
You hurry up and turn coat. And like the only dude that was really like all the time talking to me about that was my boy Keith Murray, you know. But so the fast forward and, you know, with the Snoop situation and all that, that's kind of like what happened. I was getting ready to be signed to the Dog East All Stars, and my deal got snatched from me from some, I'm not gonna say some unknown sources, but some higher ups was like, hey Snoop, we finna sign Tylo to this, and Snoop didn't want to get in the way of that, but Snoop was feeling like, hold up, wasn't nobody
until now.
But since I don't want the problems, you know, what Dog, like I told Dog, was like, all you have to do is talk to me because I wasn't signed to them. I was never in a headlock situation with nobody. I will never be in a headlock situation with nobody, which is probably why I'm not as far as I should be today.
But that's okay. I don't mind being in a headlock. The fuck?
Right, I'm never finna be nobody's boy. And so with that, Dog was like, I always wondered like what it was. And when I got the call, I just took my hands off of it. And then I low-key got mad at Dog. Like, bro, you talk to me about anything else.
But that,
you know,
maybe he just didn't want to get involved with those people.
It's like, but I done been in the nights in the studio with just me and him. And, you know, just a couple of us, we smoked out. He mad. And I'm sleeping here tonight. Forget everybody. Just me and my dog. And, you know, just like these type of, like, and this is what you do, young homie. And like heart to hearts.
Yeah.
You know, I done been in his bedroom and he done went in the closet. And I'm like, I want that coat. Cause, and he gave it to me. So I'm like, this is the most important thing to me. And you don't talk to me about this.
Yeah.
So I guess the relationship people go on. People start doing
Yeah.
and so, it's just a situation that I learned and, had to grow from.
Yeah. Tell me about the clothing line.
Oh, well, I was opening up, take it back. I was opening up for 2 Chainz. Me and my big homie, I was like, man, I want to wear something dope. He was like, I got an idea for a t-shirt. And so he showed me the idea, and I seen the Crenshaw by Nature. This is the original font. And I was like, wow, I love that. I'm gonna blow that up. And from there, I took it head on, and I tried to get in the Marathon store before it went all online.
Because you have a relationship. You had a relationship with
Nip and these are my younger homies.
Okay.
So when I came home, I was laced with what to do. Because when I came from prison, Snoop came to see me with Snoop and Bishop Don Juan came to see me on the block, and he told me you had to get your social media up, because I come from when I was in prison.
Yes.
You got signed to a label.
Yeah.
And you
There's
had
no
A&Rs,
social media. Yeah.
It really wasn't no social media. So all this time I had to learn in prison it was like, oh, you got to get your numbers up. And I was like, just lost. Like,
yeah, it's hard. It's super hard.
And the era I grew up in, we wasn't take picture here, take picture there, I'm here, I'm there. That was more of showing off, and I didn't have to show off because I've been to cheer so long.
Yeah.
I've been in these with all these rappers and stuff. Like, I'm not asking these rappers to take no damn picture with me looking like no groupie.
Yeah, no, I understand. I know what you mean.
It's like, so for me to keep doing that it's hard for me now.
Yeah.
It's hard for me now to keep posting. And 2 Chainz tell me all the time, bro, you gotta engage with they want to be a part of your life. They want to be a part of your and then I feel like, okay, when I get to a certain, it's still hard for me.
Yeah.
And you got to do it now.
You have
got
to
do it now.
Well, is there anything else that you want to share that you haven't shared before we close?
So many things I'm working on. So many.
I mean, we're obviously going to tag,
we're
going to put your name and on everywhere, like when we post, when we drop it, because we're going to drop it on Sunday, just so you know.
Okay. That's cool.
So you were definitely going to tag you and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to share anything, you can go ahead and share before we close.
Okay. I'm working on the tape, not a mixtape. We album. It's going, and a documentary, what it is to be Crenshaw by Nature. So I'm doing what it is to go with my album. I'm going to do interviews with prestigious people in the Crenshaw district, what it is to be Crenshaw by Nature. So, I'm going to have a few, it's not just the Crenshaw area, just all down Crenshaw, because Crenshaw,
it's a long street, yeah.
Torrance all the way to Wilshire.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we have different stories to go along with that. And we're trying to do it drop it as a Gangsta Grills, because I do have a relationship with DJ Drama, DJ Cannon, and Lake Show. And we're doing it documentary wise. Terrace Martin is mixing and mastering it for me right now.
Dope.
So my brother Pooh, who the trap, we're coming with brand new everything with Mercs. I have a song with my brother KT that we're doing a video for. Everyone that's on the trap label, it's like a brotherhood. So, we're working on all these things collectively. I still tour with the Dog Pound.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all about that. I have a song with Daz and Corrupt that did pretty well, over 1 million streams. We have a video with Rest in Peace Debo. I got Debo to come out on the block with Big U and a couple of other celebrities. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Unfortunately, IG took my IG page for some odd reason that I can't get it back, and that's where most of my
hater ass
traffic
fools,
was all the time.
Did you already make a new one?
No, but I have the Crenshaw by Nature page.
Oh, okay.
I kind of
mix it. It's you.
Oh yes, and we have a single, Crenshaw Madness, coming with featuring the legendary Battle Cat, produced by Battle Cat. Also sung by rest in peace, my boy Uncle Chuck, and
Okay.
from 1500, and that is like real. That's a real special song because the song was really for Nip. The
Got
beat
it.
was made for Nip. It was I was blessed to get it from Battle Cat, and Uncle Chuck that sang on it unfortunately passed recently within the year, and because he was getting ready to do the video, but I really like that song. I have a song with Dom Kenny that's coming out called Car Wash.
Okay.
That I have a song with Jason Cash and my boy called Drop in the Bag. So it's a lot of stuff I got
You
in
got
store.
a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going
Okay.
on. A lot of stuff going on. Besides
We're
the
gonna stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
besides the documentary with what it is to be Crenshaw by nature, and we're just gonna keep going.
That's right.
I also do, huh? Yes. We're also located in Hidden Souls in the Fox Hills Mall.
Okay.
We are online, CrenshawByNature.store. You can Black Beverly Hills clothing. Shout out to Black Beverly Hills. They are also official carriers of Crenshaw by Nature.
Got it.
Fin and Feathers in Atlanta also carries Crenshaw by Nature gear. So if you're in Atlanta, you can stop by Fin and Feathers, which is a part of. I'm part owner to a food truck in Atlanta. My cousin owns some restaurants, a chain of restaurants called
Nice.
Fin and Feathers. So I'm just dabbling
you're doing what you're doing. You're doing
I'm
your
doing
thing.
what
That's
I'm doing,
right.
man.
Keep
I'm trying to be
going.
an entrepreneur,
Keep
being
going.
a businessman around here on all aspects, and so it's just still so much I could talk about. But I appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate you coming on
man,
Indicted TV.
I love to come back. I love
Yes.
to come back.
More prison stories only,
But, hey, we can get into that. I got some stuff for you. I got some good, man.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on Indicted TV.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.